Say I just heard about a show.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Where the independent artists go.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Niecy got a new EP.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Stephanie's doing comedy.
Let's talk about it, talk about it.
That girl from LA and
that guy Let's talk about it, talk about it.
And now your host of Let's Talk About It, Robin Mitchell.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Raheem Mitchell. Well, as you can see, I'm not in the studio today. That's because I am live on location with producer, writer, screenwriter, actor, Mr. Larry Derr. He's here to promote his new film. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Let's Talk About It, Mr. Larry Derr. Welcome to the show, Mr. Derr. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Great, man. I mean, I've been seeing you a lot on Facebook here in Hollywood, and having a good time. You popping bottles with your friends and everything, and I was like, look at this man doing his thing. So, Mr. Derr, how would your biggest supporters describe Larry Derr?
My biggest supporters, I believe, I had one of them call me this, this morning, and what he says was, when I look up to him like, man, this is a great director, editor. He's the man in my city, in Baltimore City, Maryland. And what wound up happening was he told me, as soon as he feels like he's gonna slow down on something, he looks at what I do and what I did in a short amount of time, and he says, Larry Derr wouldn't do this, so why am I gonna chill? And he said, man, you my motivator, man. He said, you got a story, man, and people need to hear your story. Right. And he was like, so my biggest, they would look at me as I would say unstoppable.
Right.
Unstoppable force.
Unstoppable force. That's good. Every director, you must be unstoppable. Because if one director come out with something, you got, I say, you won't challenge other directors, but you challenge yourself.
Yes.
You push yourself a little further.
Correct.
That's right. And I know most people have their critics out there. So what would you say your most harsh, what would you say your most harsh critic would say about you?
I don't promote them enough. Right. I give other celebrities or other upcoming major celebrities more buzz than I do other upcoming celebrities as well, as in Tiffany Chambers or Lamont Elliott, who have tremendous major scenes in my film. And from what I'm seeing out here with the other producers that I like and that I just admire or that I'm watching, I don't see these other producers taking their stars around with them. I don't see these other producers getting them on radio stations, on television with them, and putting them out there as great actors, which these people are right now. So when I do these things and I show people that, hey, let me go ahead and get you on a radio station today, and then I hear that I didn't do it enough, or I didn't get them a shot, or I'm putting this star on but not them. And I'm saying to these people, look at all these other guys. They're not taking these guys to interviews with them. They're sitting there like, hey, I'm the man, which you want to do your story on. This is how I got there. This is where I'm going. But no, I need the world to see this talent. This is some major talent that I got in this film. Yeah, we're not sitting there major. We're at Hollywood now. We're about to get to that level. But it was hard work to get to this. You understand what I'm saying? And I give a lot of people chances, and no matter what, people are not going to see just giving them chances. People are not going to see. It's people who had a day player role in my film, and I got a lot of respect for them. I gave them shots on radios and this, that, and the third, and it's just, sometimes it's just not enough. It's never going to be enough. You understand? So Tupac said it best. No matter what you do, people going to hate you. Right. So people hated Jesus. Right. You understand? So I'm going to show the love regardless of how much hate people get, and I'm still continuing to show love to people who I love the most, who are hurting my feelings with I'm not doing enough for them. Right. You understand? So it's like I'm not really hurting my feelings. It's just disappointing me. Right. You understand? Right. So it's to the point now where I'm going forward regardless. You understand? I did too much to turn back now. And if you're gonna come with the ride, you're gonna respect that I respect you and love you and trying to put you out there, or you're not. No matter what, God knows what I'm doing. Right. And that's where I stand.
Okay, that's good.
Thanks.
So, tell us a little bit about Guns and Grams.
Okay, Guns and Grams is based on a true story.
Okay.
It took me 20 years to get it off the ground.
Right.
3 years of a bunch of talking and ideas and bringing ideas to major people. Ideas get you nowhere. The end gets you everywhere.
Right.
17 years later, I came up with Guns and I finally was able to produce Guns and Grams myself without the help of Hollywood, without the help of producers and people I was begging to help. I did it all myself, and I wound up coming up with the greatest film that's out right now. And what wound up happening was with Guns and Grams is a story about Gaetano Badalamenti. He was actually the head mob, allegedly the head Sicilian mob boss in the 80s. And what happened was he wound up being considered the lead of the Pizza Connection. It's a major documentary on that right now. So Gaetano Badalamenti and his team is actually working with my father, Shorty Dorsey. It's portrayed by Perry Blackman. You may know him from The Wire. He works with HBO behind the scenes. Also, they come to Baltimore City to do business with my father. After they do business with my father, they go on a brief hiatus with the work, or what we consider the work in the game is the heroin.
Yes.
They go on a brief hiatus. My father does not want to hear that. He goes to Miami to his old connections. The Sicilians get greedy. They try to kill my father. I'm not going to say what they did or they didn't.
Right.
Then they come after me. But I survived the attack to find out that the same people who tried to kill my father or killed my father are out to kill me. And of course, this means war.
Right.
So we have a cartel-style war in Guns and Grams in the city of Baltimore. We also shot it in New York City. We also shot it in Miami, on Ocean Drive. We shot in mansions, yachts. We shot in 3 different states, actually 4 different states. And we have 14 celebrities in it. We have Clifton Powell from Friday. He played Pinky. We got J.D. Williams from Oz, Pootie Tang, The Wire, Bodie, you know, understand? We have Omar Gooding from Baby Boy. Right. You know, he was the guy who murdered Snoop at the end of the film, right. Snoop Dogg. And we have Felicia Pearson. She's Stephen King labeled her as one of the most vicious serial killers he's ever seen. Stephen King, actually, he was my favorite writer. Stephen King is. You know, and I can keep going on and on about the celebrities in this film. We got Young Moose, an up-and-coming star. He's signed with Little Boosie. He's a rapper, but he's a tremendous actor in this film. But you know, it's a great experience to have these people, you know, Tiffany and the other cast working with a ton of celebrities in their first film. But you know, that's where I stand with that as well.
Okay, so it seems like you have a lot of people in this film. But the question I want to ask you is, who in this industry would be on your bucket list to work with, and why?
Okay, in this industry, who will be on I would say Will Smith, right. First and foremost. My vision started from a dream that I had about Will Smith and I driving past Hollywood Mountain.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know about me. I'm from the streets of Baltimore City. It's rough. I was 5 years old. I got shot with a .357 Magnum. I was 15 years old. I got stabbed 21 times because I actually defend myself from being attacked by multiple people who were known for carrying guns. Right. And when I actually shot the guy in self-defense, there is no self-defense where I'm from. And I had to do prison time for it at the age of 15. And a hit was put on me because of the people who I shot in self-defense of my self-defense, right. Or whatever how you want to call it. And you know, a hit was put on me. I got stabbed 21 times. So I wound up to the gist of what happened totally in a situation after that. But I will say that it was a time when I went to sleep and I had a dream I was driving past this mountain in a convertible and I was having the time of my life. And I just got accepted to the School of Arts where Tupac went, and I wasn't able to go because I defended my life. Right. And that burns me. It buried me. You understand? Yes. Knowing that I was going to the school Tupac went to and I was not able to do it because I had to defend myself and there's no law for me to defend myself. Right. You understand? So I wound up having this dream and it felt so real that when I woke up, I was extremely upset and I forced myself to go back into that dream. Yes. And it happened. I never had another dream like this in my life again. And I continued past this mountain with this person in a vehicle and I, you know, having the time of my life again. So I woke up again for the third time and I seen this bird come out on the, you know, on a little railing, went to the prison window, and I was thinking that, you know, like a freedom type of sign or something, some time of freedom. So I say, man, forget this. Like you said, time to eat. I said, you know what, forget eating. I'm going back to sleep. And I tried my best to go back to sleep, and it worked. It continued from a third time past this mountain. But as soon as the dream started, it was ending. And I was trying to stay in the dream so hard that what wound up happening was I started going up towards the sky. And as I was going up towards the sky, I was trying to fight to get back in the car, and I saw myself say, yeah, right, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, because Will Smith made a joke to me. And I said, yeah, right, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Right. And I looked, and it was Will Smith. We was laughing, and then the convertible drove past Hollywood Mountain. and wind up going. Then when I finally seen it was Hollywood Mountain. Then I woke up and I kept trying to get back into that car. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. I could not get back into that dream of that car. And from that, and my story started from that point on. I kept telling everybody in the prison, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be in movies. You know, I'm going to be in this. I'm going to be in that. You know, and it wound up happening. You know, it wound up happening. I wound up being with celebrities. I wound up getting lines on television. And that would be my first person I would say I would like to work with. All the strength of my vision started from that. Right. Val Kilmer is one of my favorite actors. You know, I know a lot of people may not know who he is. You know, as far as, you know, he played Batman. He was in Tombstone. He played Doc Holliday, I believe, in Tombstone. One of the best characters I ever seen portrayed on a big screen. I would say definitely the top dogs. The top dogs. Spike Lee, I would like to work with Tyler Perry. You understand what I'm saying? I actually wrote Tyler Perry into one of my scripts. He doesn't know it yet, but he's a minister. He's playing a minister in a horror movie that I wrote. Okay. You understand? He's playing a minister in a very extreme horror movie that I wrote, and it's going to be starring. I'm trying to get Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger, to be the actual father, the grandfather of the actual serial killer that's possessed by this demon or what have you. But, you know, I wrote this film. It's extremely intense. I cannot wait to film this horror movie. It's called Bunny Man. But I'm looking, hopefully I would get to work with Tyler Perry on that, you know, because I hear that Tyler Perry wants to do different things. It is right up his alley. You know, he's into God, I'm into God, you know, and for him to be a minister in this great horror film, you know, it shows the power of God in this film as well, you know. So, you know, just the major people in the industry who came up the way I came up, who went through the struggle to make it to Hollywood like I just made it to Hollywood.
All right. Okay. Well, what we're going to do, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a 5-minute pause. Okay. We're going to start talking to the actors sitting here on a couch with you, and we'll be right back with Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
You are all watching Let's Talk About It
with Raheem Mitchell.
Let's talk about it.
Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk About It. Like I say, we're here with screenwriter, director, producer, and actor, Mr. Larry Derr. Question: as an actor, what role will be most fulfilling for you?
A boxing role.
A boxing role?
A boxing role will be most fulfilling for me. To actually have to train and get in the ring and actually have a storyline behind my reason for being the champion or making it through the struggle to become the champion would be epic for me, and to be something that I'm willing to train to do. I know for a fact that it'll be a great film. You understand? But it has to be a believable film. It can't be Rocky. They did that already. It can't be Our Lady. Did that already. It would have to be something extremely action-packed, and it would have to have a struggle with it, and you know, and it'll also give me an opportunity to deliver, you know, in the ring as well. You understand? Not because of fighting skills or what have you, but just the fact that I know that I can really bring it in a boxing movie.
All right. So I see you have 2 actors here you brought with you. So let's go ahead and introduce them and let them tell me a little bit about the role they played and how they got to this point.
Okay, this is one of my stars here, one of my major stars of the film. She's throughout the entire film. Her role is awesome. The reason why it's a good friend of mine, JB. He passed away. Okay, he's no longer with us, but I wrote him into the script. And one day she walked onto the set, and I'm gonna let her tell that story. But she actually took the role of a male, my best friend JB, and now she's really one of my best friends now in real life, and she carries herself just like the real JB did, which is awesome. You understand? So it's like it was meant to be. You know, her name is Tiffany Chambers. She plays JB in my film Guns and Grams. So Tiffany.
Okay. Ms. Chambers, go ahead.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Tiffany Chambers.
Speak up.
I actually got a part of the film just roaming the streets, not doing nothing. I seen this guy with a camera filming. I asked him, I seen him, he had the streets blocked off. I'm like, oh, this must be real, this must be serious.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I built up the confidence and I went to the guy that was holding the camera and giving directions.
Right.
So I was like, hey, can I, you shooting a movie? Can I be a part of your movie, or you need help with anything? He was like, yeah, give me a minute, hold up. So I said, okay. So then he came right back to me and like 5 minutes later, like, hey, come here. I got something for you. Hey, can you do this? I did it for him. He was like, you killed it. That's exactly what I wanted. That's the vision, that's the look I needed. That's exactly what I wanted. So from there, every time he needed me to do something, to bring his vision to life or to, the Scream, I just did it. I just basically step outside my box and just present myself. And the honor just to being on set and working with the people, not knowing that they were stars, and just knowing, like, just working with J.D. Williams and being on the set with Snoop, Felicia Pierce, and Omar Gooden, like, and actually being beside Pinky,
Clifton Powell.
Yeah, Clifton Powell. Like, this guy played in Friday. This is movies I done watched,
Ninja
and
Society,
like,
right.
and so I'm actually like interacting with these people. Like, I'm sitting at dinner tables. I'm having conversation with these people. Down the line, like, I'm meeting different people, like different stars, and learning different opportunities. So it's like, it's been a journey and a pleasure just working with Larry Derr and being a part of the production team, and just stepping outside my box. It's just been an awesome journey, and I'm all for the ride and everything. Like,
You know what? That is a true Hollywood story. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, give her props, thank you, Joey. A lot of people don't have the courage to do that. And actually, here in Hollywood, you wouldn't even be able to get that close to the director because there's so much security.
Right.
You know, you would have to get through the first line of security, and then the second, and then the third. If you can get through the third and get to because that's how really hard it is here in Hollywood to even get to a director.
Right.
Especially if it's a live set,
Yeah.
and you're not even one of the actors that he cast.
Nope, not at all.
That you know what? That is the true blessing from God.
It's all
And
God.
This man giving you the opportunity to be on that show.
Yes.
Take every advantage of this opportunity that's going to be presented to you.
Yes, sir. I definitely
Because
will.
that won't ever, you don't have an agent, you don't have no headshot, no resume, and he just booked you on raw talent.
Great.
So that, I'm telling you, take this role,
Yes.
run with it.
Yes.
And you with all these actors too,
Yes.
run with that role. I'm trying to tell you, run with it. And yourself, sir.
How you doing? So my name is Lamont Elliott. So my story is just a little bit different from Tiffany's,
Okay.
but I was still discovered. So I didn't have acting was not a part of me. I had no experience at it at all. I was doing armed security.
Right.
So I actually ran into Mr. Derr at a nightclub called Sugar Ray's on Milton Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland, on the east side.
Right.
So I'm actually in the club, and the first person I see was Trey Chaney. So I'm looking at him, I'm armed up, gun vest, everything. He's looking at me, and at that time, that was when that whole police brutality thing was going on. So, we was going back and forth. So so I go outside, and I see Hassan Johnson and J.D. Williams come on Milton Avenue on the east side of Baltimore, probably at 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, what the heck is going on? So I check them, they go in, Mr. Derr comes out. I hear him on the phone crying tears of joy like, Hollywood finally wants his movie. So a light bulb goes off in my head. I said, this man ain't got security going forward. So I approached Mr. Larry, gift the gab, tell him how proud I was, introduce who I was, and it was a quick 5 minutes. We exchanged business cards. That Monday, a partner of mine that I was running a business with, we sat down and talked to Mr. Derr, and he liked everything about us, so he was like, yeah, I'm gonna use you guys for my security.
Wow.
So probably I would say about the second week I'm on set with Clifton Powell, Snoop, Felicia Persons, and Mr. Derr comes to me and was just like, I like your appearance, I like how you carry yourself, I got this scene for you. So in my head, I'm like, man, yeah, whatever, man. Like, just give me my money and let me go on my way. I ain't worried about nothing.
Right.
You feel me? So he comes to me with the offer again. So I'm like, okay, I'll take him up on his offer. He gave me a little script, told me, this is what the scene was. So, I made a little joke, before Netflix and not Redbox is what it is today. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna be on somebody's Netflix or Redbox. He's like, nah, this is going in theaters. So I looked at him, I'm like, you want me to do this? He like, yeah, you be all right. I said, Lord Jesus, I said, I don't wanna mess up. Right. So I went home and, studied the script. And, I had the bubble guts, man. Like, I'm sweating. I'm like, man, I've never done this. This is something, like I said, I didn't have the desire to do.
Right.
This is a blessing from God. This is anointed on my life. So the first scene, we're down there. It was a brick oven in Baltimore, downtown.
Right.
And with the Sicilian Mafia. And it was the scene before me. And I'm still going over, my script, nervous, sweating.
Right.
I felt like I was about to faint.
Right.
And then my scene came, that red light came on that camera. He was like, action. And I killed.
He went off.
I never knew I had it in me. So I'll never forget this. Jimmy Powell and Larry, like, they was like, cut. And Mr. Powell dropped the camera and was just like, he was like, you ever did this before? And I was like, nah. And Larry was just like, oh my God. He was like, man, you are a beast. And we were already at the end of the movie, so he was just like, nah, I'm not letting you go like this. So he added me in the scenes. We were already at the end.
Right.
And gave me the name Domino, and, you know, here we are now.
That's it. I tell you, man, take a full advantage of everything this gentleman is offering you. Take full advantage. Because he could have just gave you a role opening the door, just being an extra, and letting somebody walk in. And hopefully, your scene as an extra won't get cut.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying. But he gave you the opportunity
Absolutely.
to where you having lines now. But most of the time here in Hollywood, I need an extra. Can you hold the door while he walk in? And then you tell all your friends, man, I'm in this movie. Y'all get there to the theater, and guess what? Your scene got cut. Why? Because it's running over time.
Right, absolutely.
Mr. Derr know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
big
when
time.
a movie,
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
a movie is running so much, okay, where we gonna cut the fat?
Right.
Cut that extra out. That's not important.
Right.
But you're part of the family.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
And the most blissful thing that, you know, Big Bro, you know, blessed me with, I'm able to set a other, you know, platform for me. I have other movies that I've worked with that's coming out now that's streaming. So
Yes.
I owe a lot to this man.
Okay.
He was definitely, he gave me a gift, you know, so
All right.
appreciate you, bro.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm getting a 10-minute wrap-up sign. So, Mr. Derr, I want to thank you for bringing the actors and the stars on to Let's Talk About It. Last question for you. What other projects are on the horizons for you, sir?
Okay, well, I can't speak on one of them. The other two, the one I just told you about was called Bunny Man.
Yes.
I'm big on my neighborhood, and pretty much where we are now is a actual true story about. Well, it's not a true story, you know, guaranteed. It's a urban legend about a bunny man in Baltimore City, where if you don't cut through the woods because the bunny man will get you. Right. Don't try to cut through the train tracks to get to school earlier to, you know, get a shortcut because the bunny man will get you. You know, what I wound up doing was taking the urban legend that my grandmother knows about from her time in Baltimore City, and I created a major motion picture out of it, a script, and it took me about 2 years to write it. Right. And I want to speak to Stephen King about helping me with this one, actually. All right. If he doesn't help me, you know, I never spoke. I don't know how he works. I admire Stephen King, right. But I also admire myself, and I'm going to make sure I put this movie out regardless. Right. So the horror movie Bunny Man is a very intense, very powerful. You know, this movie is going to be a trendsetter. It's going to let people know that this is just not a gangster movie director here. You know, also got a movie that I wrote. It's a comedy. It's kind of like Half Baked. It's called Stick Up Boys, but it's not. You know, it's not about going to rob people. It's a movie similar to Half Baked. You know, it's a comedy, and it's basically a story about who I was prior to my self-defense situation, who I could have possibly became if I didn't have to defend my life one day. Right. So it's the young, innocent Larry Derr as a child, innocent child, not having to defend himself, who I was then with my friends and my innocent lifestyle, and someone's going to be playing my mother. You know, I kind of want to teach a camera to play my mom, and you know, it's basically a comedy, a fun family film. You know, I wanted to have I wanted to have Money Mike. What's his name? Is
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, the very talented Cat Williams in my film. You know, I'm surrounded by stars. I can get stars, and Hollywood said my next film they're going to give me bigger stars as well. Right. So Hollywood. Not one was they're going to say Hollywood. The distribution company that I signed with is going to get major celebrities in my film, more A-list celebrities into my films. Right. So yeah, the Bunny Man and Stick Up Boys. All right. You understand?
All right. That's good. So when will your movie come out? Tell me about the premieres and where it's going to premiere and stuff like that. Okay. Well, the movie's going to be premiering in Baltimore City first on the 2nd. It's going to be Friday, April the 2nd. And we're going to have Felicia Pearson is going to be hosting there as well. And we're also going to have it premiering in New York City May 1st in New York City Times Square at the Empire 25 on 42nd Street, the big AMC theater.
right in the heart of Times Square. It's going to be premiering there as well. So right now, we're doing one step at a time. We're going to be going to Chicago. We're going to be going back to Atlanta, back to New Jersey with the film, and Miami with the film as well. And while we're going from state to state, we've been trying to come to LA, but the coronavirus has been killing LA. LA is going to love this film. But as of right now, we're going to be going on a tour from state to state with the film, and to the company that I signed with does the major distribution with it everywhere. And that's when I can step completely back, because the movie already was released, but the fact of the matter, by being picked up by the company that I'm going to have a meeting with today in Hollywood and studios, once they picked it up, I had to stop doing things, I had to stop promoting things. You know, it's kind of, once you get contracted, you can't do certain things. So I had to take a hiatus from releasing the film, renegotiate some contract with the company in Hollywood. Now we're going to go ahead and have the movie air from time to time in different locations until they drop it everywhere. So,
All right.
Sure.
Good job. Well,
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you for taking your time out to come to Let's Talk About It and discuss your film, bringing your actors and actresses here. And good luck to y'all too. Thumbs up.
Thank you.
Keep it pushing.
Absolutely.
And remember, just always take advantage of all your opportunities. And whatever opportunity you get, I want to thank you.
Thank you as
Mr.
well.
Larry Derr. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you. And hey, this premiere is going to be off the chain. Let's see if I can make it. Yeah. All right.
Let's talk about it.
Please tune into my show. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Hello, and we're back with Let's Talk About It. I am here with none other than Robin Shockley. She says she's the lady of many talents. So I said, I have to have this young lady on my show. She DM'd me and was like, oh, are you doing interviews? And I'm like, well, sure, I'm doing some interviews. And then she started telling me about Larry Derr, which these two are working together. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Robin Shockley to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Are you enjoying this beautiful California weather? in
Oh my
Hollywood?
gosh, it's my first time here. I'm loving it. Having the best time.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So, what first attracted you to public relations?
Well, you know, a couple of years ago, I went through a domestic violence marriage and divorce. And so I started my whole life over. And when I did that, I had to figure out something to do, right? So I was connected to Regina Sunshine Robinson out of Atlanta, Georgia. She has her own network, which is the Regina Sunshine Global Network. It's a TV studio. And I started doing my own talk show with her. And she said, Robin, you do so well with talking. Why don't you get connected with me? And whenever I have events going on, you can do PR work. And I was like, okay. So I started doing it with her, and that's how I got started.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your show.
Okay, my show is called Focus Forward with Robin. It's pit to purpose, so it's people that come on my show, such as yourself, whether you're an interviewer or whether you're a producer like Larry Derr, or an actor, pastors, I mean all kinds of people, advocates. They come on my show and they tell their pit to purpose story. They share why they do what they do, and we go all the way back to the roots of even their childhood, how things have affected them in a negative and in a positive way. So I do that in the studio in Atlanta, Georgia, as well as I travel all over the country. People call me and fly me and want them to tell their story.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the story.
Let's talk about the story. Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, yes, I'm doing what you do.
All
Yeah.
right. So how did it come to pass to where you met Mr. Derr here?
Oh my gosh. Well, Larry and I were, we became Facebook friends, and he DM'd me, and he saw, I guess, on my heading of my name where I had that I was a publicist. And so, because I was doing it for the Regina Sunshine Network. And he said, are you a publicist, PR person? And I was like, why, yes, I am. Now, I was really just doing a little bit more so to help with the TV station, right? And so he said, well, let me see what, I'm working on a project. He said, let me see some of your work. And at that time, all I had really was red carpet stuff and a little bit of videos here and there doing the PR for the Regina Sunshine Global Network. And so I sent him what I had, and then he come back again, and he was telling me some things that were going on and how he was advancing, and he was about to finish with this project and all that. And I was getting real excited, and I was like, but I was nervous. I was so nervous because I had not had a whole lot of experience at that time, just a little bit here and there. And so come to find out, he's from Baltimore, Maryland, but he was going to be flying into Atlanta, Georgia. And I said, well, I can drive that distance because it was short. So he had me come out there. We did an interview at the AMC theaters, and we just instantly connected, became good buddies, friends, and he can tell you a little bit more from there.
Sure. Yeah, I went down there and pretty much the reason why I actually reached out to her was because I seen her interviewing a few celebrities, and the way she interviewed was strong, it was powerful, it was loud, and you could not talking low, and she was professional, and I was like, man, I really like her energy. And she actually did an interview with one of the J.D. Williams and Clifton Powell, also Trey Chaney, are some major stars that's in my film. And one of their co-stars in Saints and Sinners, a TV show that they're in, she interviewed one of their stars.
Karan Joseph Riley.
What's his name again?
Karan Joseph Riley.
Correct. So I seen that. I was like, you know what? Let me get this lady a nice lady a call and see can she come down to AMC Theater for my release in AMC Theaters, which sold out as well. And I went down there and she did an interview right in front of my poster, the Guns and Grams poster. She nailed it. Everybody loved her. Everybody was resharing the interviews, and what wound up happening. She's like, hey, anytime you need me, let me know. And I said, well, I'm going out to Chicago and to New York and to LA to release the movie in a few months. Oh, I'll go there. What you do? I'm going to be in Chicago that month. I'm going to be in LA that month. I'm like, wow, well, if you're going to be here on all these different locations, we might as well keep the trend going from AMC Theater to AMC Theater to AMC Theater, because this movie's going worldwide, and you did a good job in my first interview. Let's try to get this thing everywhere. So here she is now in Hollywood with me, in Beverly Hills with me, what have you, and going uphill. We're going uphill together. Now, the company that I just signed with, the major distribution company that I just signed with, they're allowing her to come to the gate as well. They put her on the gate list, so when she brings her ID, we get to go into the major studios. She's allowed to come with me, and they're real strict about that. You can't get to certain places without permission. So yeah, we're going to be on our way, and she's going to be there as well at the round table today at 4 o'clock.
Okay. So you were saying that when a new company picked your movie up, so what steps did you have to go through to get them to do that?
The company?
Yes.
They just reached out to me. I think what actually appealed to them was the fact that they saw so many celebrities in the film. Once they saw all the celebrities in the film, they was like, wait a minute, we really got something we can do with this film. And they was like, well, what is your film about? So I told them, and they was like, okay, well, if your film has this many stars and this great of a storyline, send us a sneak peek of it, and we'll decide from there. I sent them the sneak peek, and they went crazy. They went crazy. They wanted to sign me immediately, and it wound up having me here now, about to go ahead and go worldwide with the film.
Okay.
And one of the things too with Larry is when he told me that he wanted me to be connected with him, that kind of stepped my level up. That kind of pushed me up to a higher level, because I was like, okay, I'm a community connector. I love connecting people and getting one person connected to another. I just become the link. So I started, getting connected with other people in the area of Atlanta for interviews and such, and getting them to come out there. And that's really how we got showcased together, with me being even a part of Guns and Grams. It started out with just me doing my little thing with Focus Forward Robin on the Go. You never know where I'm going to be.
Right.
To one interview that ended up turning into me doing more PR relations work than I even had been doing. So I did some research. I worked on a press release, and and so like I said, you kind of helped push me up, kind of like with the others, to step up my game to get going, and I appreciate that, because you see potential in people and what how they can go. So
yeah, powerful.
Yeah. I'm sitting here watching and listening to what that one actress said.
Yes.
That you gave her an opportunity. Then you gave the guy that was supposed to be security, but you gave him an opportunity to be in the movie. And now you're giving her the opportunity to come in as a public relation for your movie. And you just, you're giving everybody their opportunities. And it goes back to what they say, God says, much is given, much is required.
Right.
So God has given you all of this, and He said, okay, I'm going to give you all of this. What are you going to do? And what do you say? I'm going to give this person a shot. She's never been acting before. I'm going to give this person a shot. He's never acted before. I've seen her interviews, so I want to give her a shot. Just like the studio and all the people has given you a shot. So you're reaching back and you bringing all these people with you because you're giving them all a shot. Right. And I just think that alone deserves a hand because that's awesome. That is great that you are giving, unknown people shots. And you wasn't thinking about, well, if I bring them in, what the celebrities going to say or how they going to act or how they going to do this. But you didn't even do it. It wasn't even a second thought in your mind. And you just did it. And
I think God did that. He just put me in the right place with the right people, and it instantly went to what the pieces of the puzzle was just attaching perfectly in the circle that He was creating. It wasn't me at all, right. So just like the situation we talked about earlier. So I don't think it was me at all. I think it was God.
Yes. And that's just going on and going on. And so what's next for you?
Ooh, well, as far as the project, I'm just excited to be in the room. I'm real big in saying get yourself in the room and let the room work for you. And because of Larry, I'm able to do that. So I'm working with him, trying to help excel him and build him up and get him more connections and get him more radio and TV interviews. And as far as me personally, with my business, with Focus Forward Robin, you never know what's next or where I'm going to be.
Okay. Never know where you're going to be. But we know. We know where you're going to be for sure. We know you're going to be at that premiere.
Yes, I am.
And
that's
let us know
for
when
sure.
that premiere is going to be.
It's going to be April the 2nd. So we would love to have anybody with media to come out, especially yourself, to come join us April the 2nd at the Square Mall.
Security Square
Mall in Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Baltimore.
Yes. That's gonna be cold.
Yeah. A couple celebrities gonna be there.
That's gonna be cold.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it also in New York as well. It's gonna be in New
Yes.
York May 1st, and Joseph
D'Onofrio,
he is going to be hosting it. We got all kinds of people hosting it. Celebrities for April the 2nd as well. TV stations and magazines and such. So it's gonna be great.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you because you DM me and asked me to come aboard to come and interview Larry, and I'm like, sure. I would love to do that.
Yes.
And then it's just like everybody is just blessing everybody.
Yes.
He blessed you, you blessed me, you bless other actors, studio's blessing you, they're gonna be blessing you with more talent for your shows. And let's just say this 2021 season is taking its toll and it's gonna run and just take off.
That's right.
And it's gonna be so awesome. So if you wanna give your platforms and let people know if they want to interview, if they want you to come out and interview them or whatever.
Absolutely.
Just go ahead and just give your platforms and let them know how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. I'm all over social media, so you can reach me on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, IG, under Robin Shockley and Focus Forward Robin. You can go to my website, robinshockley.com. If you're wanting to get Larry for bookings, you can go there as well under booking at robinshockley.com. But if you're wanting to book yourself to get an interview, or you want me to come speak or do any kind of interviews, just go to my website and I'll be glad to respond.
Okay. And Mr. Larry, let's go ahead and give your platforms and let them know how they can get tickets for your premiere and everything like that.
Okay, well, basically, if you want to come to the premiere, you can just show up, get purchase tickets at the box office. Also, you can actually go on Larry Derr on Instagram and just follow me and at my link. It's a link on my bio. Just click the link, and the tickets are actually cheaper. It's $10 a ticket. You can click on the link, Larry Derr. That's DERR. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, IG, either one. It's a picture of the Guns and Grams poster. So just go ahead and click the link, save some money, come on out to the greatest gangster film out right now, and enjoy yourself. On top of being surrounded by celebrities. So
now, the question I wanted to ask you is that I seen a clip. First, I saw you guys walking the streets of Beverly Hills, having fun, and talking. Then you guys went into the jewelry store.
Yes.
And you interviewed the gentleman there, also. But the most thing I felt that was, to me, that I felt was the most powerful is when all you guys were sitting around Larry, and he was about to pop open the champagne, and he started explaining about the 29 years, was it?
20 years.
20 years. Let's go ahead and explain that, like at that moment where you was, popping open the champagne, and it just seemed like you just let it seemed like you didn't know what you was going to say, but you just let you just let the Lord use you and just tell everybody. Well, because I don't know if everybody's seen it, but I know I saw it. It was powerful. So kind of take us back to that moment and let everybody know what was your thoughts and how you felt in that moment when you was popping the champagne.
I felt like my work had just begun actually, but the work to get to the work that is about to begin was a long struggle. And here is I felt like here I am where I want to be, where I need to be, I'm going to be able to actually have a life of motion picture producing, directing, starring, and it was opportunity for me popping that bottle was like, okay, now Hollywood knows my name.
Right.
And that's why I popped that bottle. Because it took 20 years for Hollywood to know my name and respect my name. And, that was that bottle popping was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time I see you interviewing him, like when I believe you two were at the AMC, and just you two together there, and I believe you guys are on your way in to see the movie. You was at the AMC.
No, we were actually going in to showcase the movies for that you got on the Wall of Fame.
Oh,
yeah, tell about that. That's big.
Basically, a lot of movies premiered at AMC Theater in Baltimore, but a lot of movies didn't make the Wall of Fame.
Right.
The only movies that made the Wall of Fame for selling out multiple showings, we sold out that whole weekend.
Right.
Every show was pretty much sold out. The only shows that did that was the Black Panther, Taraji P. Henson's movie Acrimony, Avengers, the movie Avengers,
right.
Medea's Boo 2. There's one other movie I can't think of right now. And then it was Guns and Grounds, my film. Yeah. So they took my film and put 2020 for the making history in that theater, alongside Black Panther and Avengers.
Right.
So we made history, and no independent film ever made history there actually either. So they gave me great respect, and they got us on a Wall of Fame now.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap up now. Is there anything else you guys would like to want to get out there that I didn't cover, and you want to cover something I didn't cover?
No, I just want to say thanks for the interview, and thanks for having me on your show.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to showcase Larry Derr.
Hey, anytime we got a chance to show greatness, and let's talk about it, that's what we do.
Yes.
We always show that greatness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. And I want to tell you, Mr. Larry, make sure you go out and see the movie. Do you know when it's going to premiere here in the city of Long Beach?
I'm waiting for, actually at 4 o'clock today when I have the meeting in Hollywood at the round table with the executives, I'll find out exactly how they're going to be moving, because when I release the film, I got to do everything through the company now, how I release it. So I don't know exactly when, but I've been trying to get it here. I want it to be here immediately. You understand? But you guys are the only city that's really locked down with the most restrictions. Yeah. So as soon as I will let you know.
Thank you guys for tuning in with Let's Talk About It. This is Raheem Mitchell. And remember, don't ever share your 8x10 dream with somebody with a 5x7 mind. My name is Raheem Mitchell. God bless. See you next week. Peace.
Let's talk about it, talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That girl from LA and